So just yesterday, we talked about Alabama inside linebacker Demoy Kennedy entering the transfer portal and what it could mean for the Alabama Crimson Tide inside linebacker room. Well, that same day, the Crimson Tide decided to make a move in the transfer portal and add former Georgia linebacker Trezmen Marshall to the inside linebacker room, something that admittedly caught me by surprise, but something that we have got to break down. Before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I need to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you surprised that the Alabama Crimson Tide made a move at the inside linebacker room in the transfer portal, and let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions are massive, and we're on a push to 20,000 subscribers. I'd love to have you a part of this awesome community. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And before we can really break this down, we need to have an understanding of who Trezmen Marshall is. He comes from the class of 2019, where he sat as the number 122 player in all of high school football, regardless of position, and a top 10 inside linebacker, as well as a top 5 player in the state of Georgia. Now, coming out of high school, the Alabama Crimson Tide did recruit him, but eventually he committed to the Georgia Bulldogs, where he's since spent his time. Since being at Georgia, he hasn't seen a ton of game action, and a lot of that is because not only did they have an incredibly talented inside linebacker room for multiple different seasons, but he's also experienced some injuries. In 2019 and in 2020, he had a shoulder injury, and in 2021 he experienced a knee injury that really derailed his time. During the 2022 season, Marshall saw his most action, and he was able to stack up 19 tackles, 1 sack, and 4.5 tackles for loss, which were all career highs. But now the question must be asked, what does this mean for the Alabama Crimson Tide inside linebacker room? And this is something we discussed lightly yesterday when we talked about Demoy Kennedy entering the transfer portal, but with a name entering the conversation, it's a topic we have got to revisit. And one would have to imagine Deontay Lawson is going to be one of the starting inside linebackers. Every time he steps on the field, it's apparent what a bright future he has, and that's a guy I'm really interested in seeing how he continues to develop. But who plays next to him is the big question, and there are several names Alabama fans need to be aware of. Jahad Campbell is someone who played during the Kansas State game, and during the course of that game showed flashes to Alabama fans and college football fans why he was a 5-star coming out of high school. He's a very talented individual, incredibly versatile, and he's a name you need to keep up with. On top of Jahad Campbell, you have Sean Murphy, the true freshman who Alabama fans were over the moon when they landed him in the previous recruiting class. You have Kendrick Blackshire, the inside linebacker who comes from Duncanville, Texas, a blue-chip guy coming out of high school, someone who's been a special teams demon. And to cap it all off, you have the number 2 JUCO player in the nation, the number 1 JUCO linebacker in the nation, Justin Jefferson, about to enter into the conversation, and that's before we ever start talking about Trezmen Marshall. So this inside linebacker competition is going to be one we have got to watch. And Marshall adds in quality depth into that inside linebacker competition, so it's something we have to watch. Something we say all the time here on the channel, iron sharpens iron, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. If we're talking defensively, that inside linebacker competition is probably the one I'm the most interested in, but I really want to hear from all of you. What competition are you dying to see and can't wait to see the results of? Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.